Good morning, everybody. Today is the 14th. Yes, it is Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day to those who celebrate it. I personally think that it was just a made-up holiday to make more money. It's a good marketing strategy, and it just sticked ever since it was first produced. I'll tell you one thing that you can really celebrate today, at least I can, is the fact that it is Arizona's birthday. February 14th, 1912 is when the state of Arizona became a part of the United States. So that is something to celebrate. I'd like to go over every holiday and really dig into the origins behind each one. I think I mentioned before that I wanted to do something like that, actually. Mercury has gone into Pisces now as well. So anticipate more ethereal topics being mixed into your intellectual activities or pursuits. There will be themes centered with not only logical intellect, but spirituality, things that aren't fully logical, but then they are logical. I guess the best way to put like a Mercury in Pisces is kind of like quantum physics, because it makes sense, but yet it also doesn't make sense. Does that make sense? The mixture of the brain with the spiritual. Not all of it is going to make sense. And it also teaches us how small we really are and how much we don't know about the world. I want to look into how that can affect everyone, since we should be keeping track of where Mercury goes and Neptune, but Mercury is the one that's moving faster, obviously. Neptune, he's just doing his thing, taking his time. So, and I say that because we have the North Node and South Node in Pisces and Virgo. South Node is in Virgo. Virgo rules Mercury. So therefore that means we need to keep track, keep an eye on where Mercury's transits are, because that's going to shift throughout the fated events that happen within the next 18 months. And then also Pisces, obviously, actually we can look at Jupiter as well, because that is the traditional ruler of Pisces. But Neptune's going to be moving into Aries, so we'll get into that as well. But Mercury and Pisces, North Node, Neptune's still there. So we have those three. Venus has already moved into Aries, so, but still somewhat close, but it's already into Aries. We're going to be going through the retrograde Venus soon here, and that will bring about a whole new set of challenges for all of us. Not all of us, but every time I say stuff like that, I always think to myself, okay, well, I know there's people that are naysayers out there that couldn't care less where the planets are moving because they don't notice any of the changes. They don't notice any shifts. And that's totally fine. Like, I feel it really is dependent on what you're interested in, but it doesn't mean that it isn't making those little shifts here and there. The only difference is that some people are more consciously aware of it than others. And so therefore they can kind of notice and recognize where those shifts are happening in their lives. Now, you could also say that it's actually better to not give a crap about what the planets are saying or doing. And I agree with that as well. I agree with both arguments, because both of them bring about some important information to us on the best way to live our lives. If we get too focused on all the transits and we depend our life on it, we lose track of being in the present moment, and we're constantly being concerned and worried about oh my gosh, is this next transit going to mess me up? Is it going to ruin my life? I've been there, trust me. I've fallen in that hole before. And sometimes I catch myself doing that again. And I have to be cautious. I think we all do. It's just having awareness of ourselves, right? But yeah, I think that it's still very important though to take a break from it. But then also it's good to, if you need some answers, you need some help finding answers to something, you feel confused, these are good ways to kind of help you find the answers you need to certain situations that are going on in your life. And I feel that's why most women are into astrology. There are men in the astrology community as well, but it's not as much. And my theory on that as to why women are more interested in learning about it compared to men is because the moon's phases change so much and we are ruled by the moon. Females are ruled by the moon. I feel Mars is the masculine, right? So Mars retrogrades don't happen often. Mars is quite, well, okay, I guess that's a bad analogy. It still fits, but I think honestly, if we're going to really look at it, and emotions are the biggest thing that affect us to our core. And women, we're biologically created to go with the phases of the moon. That's what our menstruation cycle is based off of, the moon phases. And our bodies have the ability to grow and go back. So it's like the moon phase itself, when it is a full moon or it's waxing. So like a waxing crescent, a waxing waning. I won't go into all the phases. But, our bodies are like the moon phases. We have the abilities to expand, but with that comes a price. It's quite difficult to manage all the shifts and changes that are happening within our bodies and within our souls, within ourselves. So what helps to kind of make sense of all that is by learning about astrology, and it helps to give a deeper meaning behind things. And I feel also another thing too, that at least for me personally, I feel that astrology gives purpose. Like it kind of points out all of our purpose in life and the depth that is involved in our existence. And it makes it that much more meaningful. And I also believe that God created astrology for us. He's the ultimate astronomer, right? But he's also the ultimate astrologer. I got this new book, by the way, that I am super stoked to start reading to you guys. You guys might have heard of it before. It's actually quite popular book, and I've been meaning to get it for a long time. Let me just finish putting this on. Okay, so I got this book, The Secret Language of Birthdays. Has anyone seen this book? Has anyone read this book before? I've been meaning to get it. I've been wanting to read it. It is truly a wealth of knowledge. It goes over every single day. It says it's your complete personology guide for each day of the year. So you can look up your birthday and what it says there. And it goes over the elements and the signs, the planets, and the decans. Because there's 3 decans in each sign. I'm pretty sure there's 3 decans. Super excited to start on that. I'm going to get the other books too eventually, which is going to be probably a couple weeks from now. But there's also one that's about destiny. Then there's the relationship one. That one's an interesting one. And honestly, that was the one I wanted to get first, but I figured I should probably get the original one first, and then we'll jump to that. Because I'm very fascinated by relationships and relationship dynamics. I've always been. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with my Mercury in Aquarius being in my seventh house of relationships. Not completely sure, but I'm quite sure. And yeah, so anywho, that's what's going to be coming up. And I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody's staying safe as well, because I know that the weather has been kind of iffy lately. Over here, it's been raining, and I've been like celebrating it. I've been so happy that it's been raining. Thank God. Living in a desert, it's like you want to throw a party whenever it decides to finally rain. That's all I have for now. I'm going to finish getting ready.